Okay, so we are going to continue our coverage over Darkseid War. And remember, we are currently covering all the different tie-ins for Darkseid War, because each tie-in does focus on a different member of the Justice League that had became a god. And what I mean by that is, in the main storyline, we saw most of the League being able to gain godlike powers. And so now they have new titles for themselves. So for example, Batman is now known the God of Knowledge. Superman is now known the God of Strength. Flash is now known as the God of Death. Now today's tie-in is going to focus on Superman, with him being known as the God of Strength now. Now, the only reason why Clark was able to gain that title is because him and Lex Luthor were teleported over to Apokolips, of course the home of Darkseid. Now, when they arrived, well, that began the process of Clark Kent losing his powers. And the reason why? Homeboy is a solar battery. He gets charged by yellow sun solar energy. The problem is though, there was no yellow sun nearby Apokolips. And so as soon as Clark arrived on Apokolips, well, that began the process of him losing his abilities. And so when it came to Lex, he felt like if they were going to survive on Apokolips, Clark needs his powers. And so you have Lex drop Clark in a fiery pit of Apokolips. And the reason why? The planet is flowing with solar energy. And yes, it did power up Clark Kent. He did become Superman once again. The only problem is though, that kind of solar energy was kind of like negative solar energy. And so now you have a corrupted Superman just running around the world. And so that is how he gained the ability, the title better known as the God of Strength. And so getting into today's storyline, we do pick up with Perry White and Jimmy Olsen, where we get this idea that it has been a very long time since anybody has seen Superman in Metropolis. Now, that should kind of tell you the timeline when it comes to the idea of the beginning of Darkseid War by this point in the actual event, because apparently everybody in Metropolis just freaking out, especially Jimmy Olsen. Now, Perry White is very calm because he feels like it's just Superman handling something big at the moment, and sooner or later he'll be back in Metropolis to protect the city. And matter of fact, Perry White is right, because you do have Clark Kent come back to Metropolis, except when he does come back, he comes back in one heck of a way. What I mean by that is he does crash in the middle of Metropolis after defeating some kind of alien that was currently using some kind of power suit as a way to fight against Superman. But once you have the two characters crash back into Metropolis and we come to find out that Clark was able to defeat the alien, well, that is the moment we come to find out how corrupted he truly is. And what I mean by that is because thanks to the solar energy of Apokolips corrupting Superman, his attitude towards the people of Metropolis is completely different now. Because usually he's known as one of the nicest heroes in the world. Everybody in Metropolis loves Superman. But the thing is, he's now corrupted, and so his attitude is completely different now. He is completely rude to everybody in Metropolis. And you have some folks wondering, what is he going to do about the alien that he just defeated? Because it's Clark right now just walking away after winning the battle. And you have some folks say, no, dude, take this alien to a prison. But he's kind of like, no, I'm done. I beat him and now he's going to leave before I actually beat him down even more. He knows that he lost the battle and so he is going to leave. And I want to leave because I do not want to be bothered by this anymore. I want pie of all things. And so he begins to walk away. And yes, the alien is about to leave. But that's the problem. The alien had a backup plan as a way to attack Metropolis. But if Clark was actually doing his job as a hero to make sure the alien cannot do anything else, then we would not have a problem down the road to actually deal with. And you do have Clark go by a nearby diner to get that slice of pie that he wanted so badly. Except when he does arrive, we're getting another example of Clark just being a huge jerk to innocent people in this diner. Because to these people, they were very excited to see their hero walk into that diner, because in their eyes, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, it's our hero. We love him so much, but we're also getting the chance to bond with our hero. Even though we may not talk to him, with him just sitting here, it's kind of like us getting the chance to bond with our hero. Except as soon as Clark walks in, this dude is a complete jerk to other people inside the diner. He is demanding a slice of pie. He's not asking, he is demanding. And that right there is a huge difference between the two words, because usually when Clark comes in, he's all nice and everything, but he is asking for a slice of pie. This is the Clark who's corrupted coming in being all rude, and he is demanding a slice of pie. And everyone is kind of freaking out on the way Clark is acting inside this diner. But getting back over to Jimmy Olsen and Perry White, that is the moment they get word of what is happening currently in Metropolis. And what I mean by that is, right after the alien had left, the alien released some kind of black goo that is beginning to spread all over Metropolis. Not just to people, but also to buildings as well. The entire city is being covered up right now by some black goo. And of course, if you do get trapped in black goo, you are just frozen or stuck in that black goo, unable to move. And so once the reports come in, you have Jimmy trying his best to get over to Clark to warn him what's happening currently in Metropolis. And he got word that Clark is right now trying to get a slice of pie. And he knows that when it comes to Superman, there's only one place he will get that slice of pie from. And so you have Jimmy just rush over there to warn Clark about what's happening in Metropolis. And once you have Jimmy being able to find Clark, it's really more of Jimmy trying to tell Clark what's currently happening in Metropolis, how the entire city is currently being attacked by some black goo that was released by the alien that Clark defeated earlier. And while you have Jimmy trying to tell Clark all of this, it's really more Clark just saying, I don't care, because this is a corrupted Superman. It's him now telling Jimmy that he's tired playing hero. And the reason why, because being hero gets annoying, because this city, Metropolis, really the entire world, always needs saving in some kind of way. That almost every single day, Clark, as Superman, has to step in to save the day, to kind of protect the people of Metropolis, but also the people of the world. And so with that being said, is Clark kind of saying, dude, I am tired of doing this. As a matter of fact, I'm an alien. I'm not really part of y'all's race. And so with me realizing that, why should I care? The only thing I love about this earth is the pie. But the problem is though, Jimmy, right now you are bothering me and stopping me from enjoying that slice of pie. And with all that being said, you still have Jimmy saying that he believes in Clark and tries to convince Clark to actually help out. But again, Clark is not listening, and he lets Jimmy get taken over by the black goo. And by the time we get at the end of this section, we kind of find out the black goo has covered up Metropolis completely. And this is where you really have the book kind of wrap up very quickly. And what I mean by that is because right after you have the entire city be taken over by this black goo, you didn't have Clark realize that nothing is moving in Metropolis at all, except one single bird. And when that bird does land on Clark, you have Clark of the bird to fly away, which the bird does, except right after the bird does fly away, well, that is when Clark realized that he's lonely now, that everybody in Metropolis is now frozen or stuck in that black goo. And so you have Clark get very upset about the idea that one, he did not stop the alien like he should have. Two, the alien had technically taken over the entire city. And three, that he is now lonely. And so he does use his frost breath as a way to kill off the black goo across Metropolis. Once he does that, the city is saved once again. And you have Clark leave. Now you have Jimmy kind of wondering if anything is going on with Superman. Except you have Perry tell Jimmy, dude, why do you care? Because we still have our hero. He came in, He saved the day and he left. And that shows us that we are still protected, no matter what kind of costume that he is currently wearing. But it's Jimmy saying, no, Superman was not normal. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.